Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Recato of Recato Law, small law firm in central Minnesota, coming to you fresh from Camelot's stream. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Really do. Just had a great show with my homie Camelot. Really become a good friend over the past year or so, and I love him. I love that man. I love him, which is funny. And in the worst ways that you guys think. But anyway, if you want to go check it out, it's me, Camelot, and Cecil. We're talking about one of the topics we talked about is kind of some overlap tonight, but we're going to get a little bit of a different approach. So, by the way, I know a bunch of you are here from Camelot stream. Thank you for hanging out and rating me, humble lawyer me. But it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And that's the pronouns Starfield topic. Pronouns in Starfield, I don't actually care about. We'll talk about that a little bit, but it is a useful lead-in to a discussion I care very, very much about. And this is what I think is one of the most critically important aspects of modern entertainment and the danger that we're all fucking dealing with this. And I know it sounds like dire to say danger, but just hear me out. We'll get there. It's not the same discussion we had on Camelot. It will be a little bit more robust and a little bit more removed from Starfield in general. Again, it's just a catalyst for something that crops up every so often. So we're going to talk about that for sure. But we're also going to talk about a judge. One thing people tend to kind of forget. I don't know if they forget it. They don't think about it, because why would you most of the time? Judges are people. They're people. And that's actually fucking terrifying. That judges are not just robotic automatons that spit out answers due to an AI. And actually, there's some arguments that AI judges may become a thing. And not only that, but they've done some studies. And interestingly, maybe I can find this on stream. We'll see. I didn't think about this study when I was planning the stream. We got a completely different avenue to get to this. But there was a study done not too long ago where they took New York bail hearings, right? One specific district or courtroom in New York. They did all these bail hearings for criminal cases. And what they did was they have the real results from years and years and years of these bail hearings, right? And then they pumped some information into an algorithm, an AI, and they had the AI predict what the bail should be based on expected bail, recidivism or probation violations effectively. And the AI ended up being better than the judges at predicting who would be a more likely reoffender and stuff like that. And I mean, there's all kinds of like woke arguments about it, like, wow, the judges have implicit racism and stuff like that. But it wasn't about that, actually. The interesting part of the study was it wasn't about like, was the judge more racist than the AI? It was literally just, would the AI more accurately predict who was likely to violate their release conditions and then adjust bail accordingly. And so, the AI is given just this raw input data without the results. We, however, have 30 years of results from these judges who have done this thing. And of course, importantly, the actual data that came out of who did violate their probations, who should have had higher bails, who should have had lower bails. All of that stuff is there. So we have that beautiful hindsight of history, and we can apply it against an AI that has no awareness of it. And they found out that an AI judge, at least as far as bail hearings, performed a little bit better. That's kind of neat. This isn't related to that at all. I just thought of it as I started rambling. People forget that judges are people, though. They do forget that judges are people. And when your life, your livelihood, whatever, is in the hands of a person versus the hands of a computer, sometimes you're like, fuck me. Like, what do you do? Right? Because people are subject to emotions. They're subject to bad days. Women who are barely people. That's a joke, ladies. Come on. Women who, again, are barely people, they have things like PMS. They have various other issues. Like, they see the world differently than men. Not that that's good or bad, but the difference between how a male judge and a female judge sees and interacts with the world, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It matters if it affects your fucking life, right? Like, that's the incredibly important part. And so all of this stuff factors in. And sometimes judges are kind enough to remind us that they are people. So I've got a little news story to kind of go along with it, to kind of massage the prostate of this topic. So we'll talk about that. It'll be a good time. Everything will be okay. We're going to move on to the pronouns in games. But again, it's not pronouns in games. I actually don't give a shit. Cedar says, boo, get better material. Cedar, I'm joking, right? Like, I love the red pill like community because it creates these absurd differences between men and women when a bunch of common ones exist. But like, you're tempting me into talking about this right now. And I'm just, it wasn't even the topic. I saw this video I was sitting there scrolling through Instagram Reels the other day. I see these two fat guys talking to each other, right, on a podcast. And the one guy's like, you know what? My wife asked me if my wife asked me. It's like, so she didn't. Okay, got it. This is already the difference between men and women. If my wife asked me what would get me home from work sooner every day, so I'd spend more time with her and the kids, I was like, babe, or it would be like, babe, if you met me every morning and you gave me a kiss and said, you are a warrior for our family. Oh, yeah, that would just get my fucking engine going. I would go to work, I would crush it, and then I'd come home early just to be with them. And the other guy's like, yeah, man. Yeah. And this is a big, like marshmallow guy. And he's like, women don't understand. Like, if a guy gets a choice between a woman saying, I love you, and a woman saying, I respect you, they'll run towards the I respect you thing. And women don't understand it. And I was like, I mean, okay, like, I guess, guys, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, that's a weird way to approach this topic or question. Like, I don't think that's every guy or every woman. Like, that's like, okay. But anyway, so like this whole like male female commentary community has gotten so weird, right? That's what's gotten so weird. Because to me, like, lingerie would do a pretty good job too, right? Like, oh, hey, can't wait to see you later. He. Like, that would be great. Like, that'd be a motivator, I think, in a similar way. And these guys are like, no, man, it's that respect high that you get. And I was like, well, I mean, maybe. I don't know if all relationships are like that, though. But they speak in definitives, like, this is how all men are, and this is how all women are. So, of course, Cedar, we're just tangenting here. But, like, that's kind of weird. Like, but it's just this, I'm joking about the men and women thing, because obviously, like if you say women aren't as good as men, then like, you have to be joking because it's obvious. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's move past that. So pronouns I don't care about pronouns in Starfield, to be very clear. We'll talk about this more thoroughly as we get there. But the most important part about pronouns in video games is that I got monetized on Twitter, and Twitter monetization depends on engagement. So once I got monetized on Twitter, I cared very, very much about pronouns in Starfield. Like, I don't even have Starfield yet, and the pronoun thing wouldn't make me not play it. But I definitely wanted to engagement farm on Twitter. Like, I wanted that as much. Like, and that was a hot topic. It's very trending. So of course I'm going to poke and prod and press buttons. And now, to be clear, I do think that the pronouns in Starfield are a pandering pile of bullshit. It's the product of current generation and all of that stuff. I'm just saying, like, individually about this thing, I don't care that much, because I don't even have Starfield, and I probably don't have time to play it. but it's funny. But on the greater principle, not of pronouns and well beyond Starfield, is this idea about escapism, escape. And this is something I've talked about for years now. And it's a panel I usually do when I'm invited to talk to a convention. I call it the For the Fans panel. And it's really about escapism and the critical nature of having that escape. The root word of the fucking idea is to get away, but you're not allowed to. And so Starfield, whatever you think about it, when you look at how the pronoun thing works out, we're talking about escapism. It's bigger than these fucking, it's bigger than these fucking pronouns and individual games. It's bigger than that. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And the places that you can go to get away from it are diminishing. And that's the actual issue. That's what Az is screaming about. That is what is on the line. It is not this one game in this one instance that may or may not be good enough. By the way, no, it's fucking bullshit. They should not have put them in there. It's completely irrelevant to everything in the game by all measures. And everybody says, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But if you took them out, they would have a fucking conniption. But it's everywhere. It's not Starfield. It's everywhere. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about escapism. We're going to talk about why all this shit actually matters. We'll watch Az's rant because Az is great. Az is my friend Heel versus Babyface, by the way. If you've ever watched a painting stream with me, Sargon, Heel versus Babyface, that's Az. He's the other Brit Bong to counterbalance Sargon. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I do want to play his rant because I think it's really important. I think he nails it. And a bunch of people made fun of him for it. And it's like, no, guys, he's on this. Like, he's got it. And you're taking this one thing that he's pissed about, and you're like, how dare a YouTuber be animated? Well, of course they're animated. You fucking weird. These are YouTubers who are like, well, I can't believe he's so worked up about this. Yes, you can. This is how you do business. We all do. We all over emote. I gripe at my kids all the time because since they watch YouTubers, right, and they see their facial expressions, their reactions, and their vocal interactions with people, and they're not real. They're not real. They're overdone. They're screamy or super dramatic, or they'll repeat stuff over and over because they're trying to appease a 8-year-old audience or whatever. And you can't understand it. It's so like loud and like I show speed. I can't translate. Like, I'm pretty good at translating hood into white, but I can't when he says bro 56 times a second. Like, I just don't know how to do that. That's I gotta leave that to the Zoomers. Like, hopefully there's a based Zoomer white who can translate jive for us. I don't know, but I don't get it. But I can identify it. I can recognize it. And the over emoting is a thing that as you see younger and younger streamers with younger and younger audiences, you'll notice it more and more. So as being animated and angry to an audience of people who's tired of this shit, that's not surprising. And any YouTuber who's like, oh, I can't believe he's like this, they're all disingenuous fucking liars. All of them. And they're garbage. Like, if you're like, why is he so worked up over this? Fuck you. You do the same thing. We all do. We all do. And it's not even because we're trying. Let's talk about that real quick. Because this is going to go into, hello, fingers. This is going to go into a thing I'm talking about and something that is happening tomorrow. It was supposed to happen Friday, but sorry. Things got real weird with my ability to record a video. So I am starting a new locals only series, and this is one of the things that I will be talking about. The locals exclusive series, which for guarantee, I'm recording the video probably tonight. After this show and the local show, I'll be recording the video so that it is up on locals tomorrow. But it is a creator resource kit creator. I don't want to call it a boot camp because it is not like me getting you to be a creator of some sort, but it's just a place where you can go for all sorts of different things. Some of those things will be gear reviews, gear recommendations for different levels of streaming and content creation, right? Like I've been through everything from a Yeti mic and a shitty 720p webcam all the way up to what I have now, which is a very expensive Sony DSLR camera, with microphones and interfaces that cost too much and earphones that cost more than everything else. Like, those are different tiers of what you do. And so I'm going to, you'll have sort of those gear reviews and recommendations based on what I have tried out, and the different, pitfalls and peaks of those things. But also there will be more philosophical discussions about what it is to be a streamer, like considerations that you may not have had because I didn't have them, and you kind of learn them along the way, or you get blindsided by them. Fun times when the internet blindsides you, but that will happen. And one of them is this. The over emoting thing. Now, for some people, it is to appease an audience. I can't tell you I can't tell you the difference here, but I can tell you this. For me, one of the things people say to me often when they meet me in person is, "Oh, you're like the same guy in person as you are on your show." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I am." And that's mostly true. But on the show, I'm a little turned up. And when you see me in person at like a convention or a live show or whatever, I'll probably be turned up a little bit. But the reason I'm a little turned up is not, it's not necessarily performative. It is the fact that in a regular conversation with you, I have you to bounce off of. I see your facial expressions. I get your tone of voice. I get your feedback. You interrupt me. All of those, like, normal conversation happens and normal interaction happens. And you have that to kind of gauge how the conversation is going. When you're on YouTube or Rumble or whatever it may be, you don't. All you have is, I'm looking at me right here. All you have is you. And so you kind of like over emote a little bit because you don't have, like, you have to fictionalize the interaction with the other person. So that's how that goes. But we'll be talking about, the sort of philosophical stuff like that on Locals, as in this exclusive series. I'm excited to produce it. I know no one is probably excited to consume it, but I'm excited to make it because it's something I've wanted to work on. People have asked me for a while. And so I want to do that. So that the first video of that does launch tomorrow. It was supposed to launch Friday. We were at we go to a family Bible camp every Labor Day. And I thought I would have the ability to record somewhere, and that did not work out at all. So again, I brought fucking equipment to record and it didn't work. But that being said, we'll have that video up tomorrow, and it's not going to be about that subject I just talked about. It'll be a more introductory video, intro to streaming type stuff. But those videos are coming, and they're for Locals exclusive supporters. And then more local stuff is coming on the way too. But that one starts tomorrow for sure. So that's great. And then finally, we've got to talk. Look, it's been Trump lately because media is just constant on Trump. There's always something new. And the new push is, John says, my masterclass. Oh, no. John, this is not a masterclass at all. No. This is, like, believe me, if you think I'm a massive narcissist, but if you think I'm qualified, or I think I'm qualified to do a masterclass on streaming, no, I barely get through. And that's actually the encouragement I can give people, is like, no, you can be functionally retarded and still actually produce a show that some people will like. And here are the things that I think are effective to focus on. If you want a masterclass on content creation and streaming, you should go to, like, Lead Attorney. He has a whole Locals specifically geared around that. There are people who are way better at content creation in general than I am, like, because they produce clips, and they do this, and they curate multiple channels, and they do all of this, like, prep work, and they script and stuff. And oh my God, can you imagine? I'm not that kind of guy. Most people, I don't think, are either. But that doesn't mean you can't create something. And this is, and really importantly, really fucking importantly, this is not a how to make money on social media class. It is not. It is not going to be represented that way. And let me be very clear. This is not about making money. To me, people who sell the how to make money on social media class, like, I don't trust them, because that's like how to succeed at sales. It's less than a 2% success rate. So I'm not going to tell people, well, if you do this, you're going to make money. actually that's kind of the counter narrative that I'm running, is like, this is not a making money endeavor. If it does make money, great. You should not run it that way and do it this way. There are ways to do it and to really try and gear towards that. And you should listen to people who are way better at growing channels, at pumping out monetized content, at selling ads, like Attorney Tom or whatever. Like he crawls whatever below the radar. So super great guy though. He's much better at that shit than I am. And I would, if someone's like, how do I make money on social media? I'd be like, well, you should talk to someone who's good at it rather than who stumbled into it, because there's a bunch of people who do. This is literally like, how do you do these things? Just some considerations that people have. And it's really a thank you to my locals subscribers, because I have so many local subscribers who want to get into content creation, not to make money, but just they like, I like this thing. I want to make it. Can you help me? Like, yeah, well, let me create some general resources for people to do that. But this is, yeah, no, believe me, I will not sell a masterclass, because that would require mastery. And I'd pretty much, guys, if I was a master at social media, you'd probably never see me again, because I'd be fucking loaded and it'd be hilarious. I'm not good at that stuff. Never have been. I'm just a guy, and you turn on a camera or you put me in front of someone, I'm going to talk, and some people like that. That's it. That's the story of my success right there in a nutshell. Is some people like when I talk, and other people go, get the fuck away from me, you idiot. And that's fine. But yeah. Okay. And then, but I'm tired of talking about this Trump stuff, getting back to it. Sorry, I got distracted. I don't like talking about Trump all the time. The media is making a big deal out of it. These prosecutors keep charging him. They have not charged him with anything new. We talked about the 4th indictment in Fulton County. We talked about how the trial apparently will be televised. It's set for March 4th. I would expect that to change because I don't know if this trial is going to go through, but I would expect high-level challenges to all these indictments going up to the Supreme Court. And if they can get expedited, sort of decisions on that, we may not see any of this stuff. But that being said, the Fulton County, trial is expected to be televised. It's expected to start March 4th at this point in time. Definitely will be covering it. We'll be clearing my March so I can. We've already talked about that. This is about something else. This is the new thing that's kind of buzzing around mainstream media and social media. Is Trump disqualified from running for the president under the 14th Amendment? So we're going to take a look at that. We'll take a look at some ludicrous fucking assertions from people. I was supposed to be on a debate about this today, and I was not able to make it. I tweeted about it. I hope you guys caught the show. It's with Cherry. I've never heard of her, but she reached out and she's like, oh, do you want to do a debate on this thing? Destiny will be there. And I'm like, I guess he's like short or whatever. And then she's like, Pisco will be there. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to do it. But I agreed to do it. But then when we were leaving our family camp today, one of our family members, family camp for us is a little ways away. One of our family members had massive car trouble, and we had to kind of hang out. And it's a good thing we did, because we had extra space in the van, and they ended up having to ride home with us because their car just didn't start, had to be hauled home. But we had to haul them home. So that just added hours and hours and hours to my return. I wasn't able to do the show, unfortunately, but I do hope to collab with her again, even though I hate debates. I hate them. I hate debates. I prefer productive discussion to debate. I really do. Because internet debates are just about who's funnier a lot of times. Like or who brings a bigger crowd. And I hate that when I go into a debate and then I, will research a topic and give my input and knowledge, which isn't special or whatever. It's just slightly above average, only because I spent money to go to school. Okay. That literally it. It's not special. But I'll give my input, I'll give my perspective. And then it's like, well, that doesn't matter because you brought the crowd, or you were funnier or whatever. And it's like, well, you're winning because of that. And it's like, well, that's not really winning. And also, this isn't really helping. So I like to discuss things. I think you can better achieve what you want, which is educating whoever's watching, because you're not going to convince the other person that they're wrong. So it's educating whoever's watching towards your perspectives. And I think that can be done through the discussion better. And I think that's overall better. But it is funny to call some people retards, right? Like, and have people laugh at that. That's good. And that, if you can win a debate by saying, I'd say you have Down syndrome, but you're so far below it. I don't even know what the joke is. That's rude. How do you? Never mind. I'm not a joke writer, but I agreed to do it. But I couldn't make it home. It just wasn't going to happen. I let her know. Cherry, by the way, I would be happy to do another collaboration with you, even if it is a debate. I don't like them. It doesn't mean I won't do them. I just, or whatever else. I felt really bad, but I told her what was going on. And so I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, everybody's talking about this 14th Amendment thing. That was the debate topic. Is Trump able to run for president? Because the 14th Amendment, there is a provision that says certain people can't run for president. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the arguments. I'll tell you why I think they're fucking stupid. Let's be very clear. They're fucking stupid for saying that Trump is disqualified from running. There have been lawsuits about it. They're getting dismissed because it doesn't work this way. It doesn't work the way they want it to work. They want it to work this way, but it doesn't. And it can't, because here's the spoiler alert, bitches. Running for president is a fundamental right enshrined in the Constitution for anyone who qualifies. And it's weird to think about being a presidential candidate as a fundamental right, but it is. And it's one of the few things that's actually enumerated specifically in the Constitution. Here are the requirements for the presidency. Here's the disqualification. But as we know, if you have a fundamental right, the infringement of that right, even by amendment, must comply with some level of scrutiny, usually strict scrutiny. So to get to strict scrutiny, you have strict scrutiny is what they use for free speech issues, but effectively, you have to clear a high bar. And in this case, we're talking about due process issues. We're talking about the removal, like similar to the removal of a gun right. Like, you have to be the removal of the right to vote. Same thing. You have to be prosecuted and convicted of something. You don't just get to say, well, Trump, insurrection, January 6th, Proud Boys, peanuts. And then suddenly he's magically not able to run. That's not how this works. It's not how the infringement on rights or the forfeiture of rights more appropriately works. So we're going to talk through that as well. And you know what? We can go anywhere else from that. My good friend Sargon, this kind of like a personal topic for me. Sargon had an interesting tweet and it got a ton of engagement. How do you get Twitter engagement like Sargon of a God? Listen, he's a British guy, right? And he'll post these really long fucking tweets, and like long tweets don't get anything good unless you're, I don't know, maybe unless you're smart. So Sargon will post these really long tweets and then he'll get tons of engagement. But he found some like Reddit story, and it's probably fake, but it's about a woman. She's like, I'm going to marry this guy, but I told him my body count was 58. It's like, where'd that come up? Like, how'd that happen? Like, is that a natural thing? I told him my body count's 58 and he wanted nothing to do with me. And so Sargon's talking about like the virtue of having a lower body count, and like that people lied to women and told them that they could be sexually promiscuous or whatever forever, and it would never affect them. I don't disagree at all with what Sargon says. However, I think it's an incomplete answer. Because I think most things are bigger than simple answers, frankly. I think it's an incomplete answer. And I think there's some discussion to be had about it. So if we get there, we'll do it. And Halesburg says 99% of Reddit stories are fake. Yes, I believe very likely this is fake. However, the discussion around body counts and the male female dynamic and all of this stuff is a relevant topic. Like it's an interesting topic. I don't think it's as black and white as people make it out to be, because I don't think the red pill community has figured out men versus women entirely. But that's not to say that they're wrong, right? It's just about what you're looking for. It's an incomplete answer, and there's a bunch of people looking for answers in this area, and it makes perfect sense there. So we might get to talking about that. Just because I saw it, Sargon said it, and he's my British bro as much as is, I guess. And people have been asking when we're going to do the next painting stream. I don't know if I can do one this week. I would love to, but I really only have like Tuesday, Wednesday, or possibly Thursday during the day to do that. But our kids are starting up their homeschool activities and their extracurricular stuff. And so I'm kind of at Lady Racket's disposal to help out as we kind of move back into all this crazy schedule stuff. So I don't know if daytime streams are on the menu. If I can work it out, I'll do it before Nashville. Otherwise, it'll be right after Nashville, because I am aching to talk to them. Oh, and there's a bunch of other topics too that are out there. EDP. I don't know if you guys remember EDP, the guy who got caught like trying to go to a miner's house to quote unquote get a cookie or a cupcake or whatever. He got caught again. I mean, he got caught again. College of the Air says, say Josh Moon. No, I've said what I wanted to say about Josh. I have. And I heard his response, and again, it's fine. If you want to see, I made a long post on Locals that very briefly mentions Josh Moon. It's not he's only an ancillary part of it. The fucking internet collapsed in my sector or whatever right before this Labor Day weekend, and it was really frustrating to see. But that being said, not like Josh said, but like I will say, I really do like Josh. I wish him well. Obviously, I disagree with him on some things, obviously, but so what? I disagree with tons of people on tons of things. And some people are questioning. I made a post about Kiwi Farms because there was a hit piece that came out from the Washington Post, and the hit piece is really poorly executed. I don't know what happened in the hit piece. You'd expect it to at least have some teeth, and it really doesn't. This is a very gummy Kiwi Farms blowjob in a weird way. But that being said, look, Kiwi Farms and I not on the best terms, which they take weird when I say stuff like that. Like, look, people on there don't like me. It's fine. That's okay. I'm not trying to stop them from not liking me, and I never will ever. As much as I disagree with some of the stuff that happens on there, I will never, ever stop advocating for its right to exist, or Josh Moon's right to be left alone and to just run a website for people to gossip about stuff, because that is critically, essentially speech. It always has been. It always will be. And much to my chagrin that Josh thinks I thought of otherwise ever, I never have. But like I said, I'm not here to correct that. I can't correct people's interpretations of what I do or say, and they won't believe me anyway. But no, always will support the Kiwi Farms right to exist. Always will support Josh as the owner of it, and hopefully, we can move past this at some point. But if not, c'est la vie. I'll still say, he has a hard fucking job, and I think he gets a lot of undue hate. He gets a little due hate, but mostly undue hate. So if you want like some big drama thing between me and Josh or whatever, like to come out like me to be like, let me tell you about Josh Moon. I'm not even going to say it as a joke because people will take it incorrectly. Let me say it in code. Let me tell you about Josh Moon and the allegations about it. Those have always been fucking weird. It's the same shit that people do. Everybody, he's addressed them and debunked them, and that's the thing, right? Like, this is how people manipulate shit. And it's really frustrating to see. I don't want to see it happen to Josh. I don't want to see it happen to anybody. So that being said, you won't find like the big drama thing. I still never mind. I like the guy. I like the guy. If I ever meet him in person, I'll buy him a whiskey or a beer or whatever. I don't know. What does he drink? Does he drink anything? The blood of children. But yeah, that's it. I've said most of my piece about Josh and the Kiwi Farms, and that's that. Until the next thing, right? Like the next fun blow up. You guys get to eat the popcorn and whatever. Have fun with it. It's the internet, baby. It's your show to watch. So watch it how you will. Never let me tell you otherwise. All right. Let's get into this. William M. ATL says, Lord, I was born a rambling man. Yeah, dude. Rambling and tangenting is why I don't understand why anybody has ever watched my show, because I'm so fucking like staying focused is not my forte. Kayla, anyway, Kayla says, has been a member for 18 months at super lawyer level, says, dang, 18 months. What's up, girl? How you doing? Thank you so much for supporting the show. Nicholas Cruiser, member for 16 months, says, damned straight. And Rosebud 26 says, welcome to paralegal status to Rosebud. Thank you so much for joining the channel. And yes, guys, real quick, I've seen the stuff about Ralph. I got it. Here's what I'm going to say. I make one statement about Ralph on this stream. I don't know. One statement about Ralph. Ralph and I have buried the hatchet. I've said this in a particular way before. I guess I'll say it now in this way. I reached out to Ralph when I saw family issues happening. For me, family issues, like they cut to the core, man. That's what's important to me is my family, like beyond whatever. I don't know if it's important to everybody else in the same way, but when I see family issues, I reached out and I said, hey, Ralph, just so you know, you've said some really fucked up shit, and I've said some fucked up shit. I'll own that. But that's all petty bullshit in the face of real issues. And I hope that your family stuff resolves in whatever way is best for the kids, best for you guys. I hate to see it. Whatever it is, man, I hope that's it. And the reason I did that is because I really do think the drama between me and Ralph was, one, unfounded or misfounded or whatever. And two, I thought it's really petty, ticky-tacky bullshit at the end of the day. And I hate that it progressed into like getting really nasty and personal. And I hate my part in that, whatever it was. I don't feel like I contributed too much to it, but I think he did. And so okay, I'll own that. I hate whatever part I had in that made it like really deeply personal. That being said, to me, the most important thing are the kids safe. It's primary, right? And then Ralph's got some addiction issues. I don't think that's a secret. I don't think that's taboo at all. And I want him to get past those, because every time they flare up, and by flare up, I mean, it's like 80 to 90% of the time, the addiction issues are controlling. And then you get like 10% lucid Ralph. And that majority of the time, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. And I hate that. So to that being said, I hope that those issues resolve. And that is way bigger than any snippy drama, nasty insults, whatever, between us. To me, other people can disagree, and that's fine. But that's where it is, man. Guys, some of this shit is way more important than internet ass fucking or whatever. Like, it's these are real people. And so I hope, especially with kids, man, I hope everybody's safe, whatever that means. I don't have a side on that one because I'm not in that. I don't have a side there. I just want those kids to be safe, and I really hope that Ralph doesn't fucking die from this addiction shit. So just that's that. But I'm not gonna like, I saw that, did he post nudes or whatever? Maybe he did. I don't know. One thing I will say for a lot of people who are like, didn't he learn from the revenge porn thing or whatever? Well, laws are different everywhere. And the revenge porn thing was in Virginia. Ralph isn't there anymore. And so unless he traveled to Virginia and posted it, you're going to have a different analysis. I don't know where he might have been. I don't know if he posted it, but if he did, you literally have a different legal analysis. And I don't know what to say, man. I don't think it's the best move. It also could violate a probation order from Virginia if he has one. I haven't followed up with it, but if he had a probation order and then did this, it doesn't matter where he is. That could be violative of the probation order, but that assumes that Virginia or whoever could get jurisdiction over him at this point when he doesn't live there and may not be there. Those are complicated legal questions. I think I need more information to analyze them. But most importantly, again, like, I really, really want Ralph to not die. And the shit that I've seen, like the couple clips I've seen from him, I'm concerned as like a person. And I hope he doesn't take that as an insult, because it's really not intended to be. I mean, people go through shit, man, like they do. And so dude, I hope, I just don't want you to die. Like, I don't want anybody to die, except for a couple people, but mostly not. Mailman 029 says, I'd like to request a toast for my friend's father who passed away over the weekend. He was a great and fun man, one of the few in my life who demonstrated high tier characteristics of being a good man. So here we go. And did you guys see that Jim Medicare, he did stream again the other day, and it's not for a great reason. If he's to be believed, the grifter Jim Medicare. It's not for a great reason. He's got his health is deteriorating. That hasn't been a secret. And it looks like he had, dude, when you start fucking dying, your health costs go astronomical. And he did a stream the other day. I wasn't able to watch it. I barely get to watch fucking anything. And I wasn't able to watch it. But if you guys feel so inclined, I do believe his merch store is open and he could use all the help he could get. I think the internet will always need a Jim and will never have one. Once he's dead and in the ground and all of the weirdos come and like pee on his grave or whatever, and like I'll help him. I'll tell him where it is. Like, I'll mail them. I'll find every internet weirdo that Jim made fun of, and I'll be like, here's a postcard with the address of his grave, and I'll have them pee on it. Because I think Jim would like that in a weird way. But no, like, if you feel so inclined, buy some merch from him. He's an internet legend, and we won't find his ilk again. Here we go. To Mailman, though. To Mailman, a toast for your friend's father. Your friend's father. It's an interesting thing to toast a friend's father, of course, because it's not your dad. But our friends' dads become fatherly, right? At least if you're old enough. They were surrogates. They were the dad when you thought you got away from your fucking dad. Like, you got that thing. You're like, all right. My old man has no idea I'm doing this. And then you're over at your friend's house. You're fucking around. You're being a dumbass that you can't do in your own house. And this is a thing about 80s and 90s kids. 80s and 90s kids know this. You're fucking around. You're doing something stupid. Like our friends, we would douse a tennis ball in gasoline, light it on fire, kick it around the yard, play flaming soccer. Flaming soccer is just soccer, but like, that's the gay kind. This flaming soccer is with a tennis ball that's on fire. You're kicking it around. It's leaving trails of fire all over the grass. Your friend's dad wakes up 1 a.m. because he hears some commotion. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get your dumb ass in there, and start screaming at you. And you have the terror that if this man kills you, your ask him questions, you just get buried in a swamp. Holy fuck. That surrogate dad, that neighborhood dad, that friend dad is someone who, in the right generations, molded you and sculpted you in ways that your own parents couldn't, because you weren't as stupid around your own parents. Sounds to me, when you say a few men in your life demonstrated high characteristics of being a good man, that's what you're talking about. Someone you can look up to with the safety of trust, someone you know, and also insulation from the bias of being your own blood. Cheers to surrogate dads in that way. Cheers to those who raised us, who never had to, and always were like, yeah, I guess your stupid fucking friend could come over. Cheers to those guys who did it, endured it, and made us into better people. So there you go. There you go. And then Mandy said, presidential debate should be like Family Feud. Give me Biden and Vivek. Top 4 answers on the board. We asked 1,000 Americans, how much do you want to pay in taxes? Steve Harvey, 1,000-yard lip stare to their answers. Oh, shit. Did you guys hear this? So Steve Harvey allegedly, Steve Harvey's wife has cheated on him with a bodyguard and chef. Steve Harvey, if you don't know, is a massive, massive simp for his wife. And it's always shitty to see something like that. Like, no, I don't have female friends. I don't do this, blah, 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 blah. So I'm 100, like I'm hers and she's mine and all that stuff. And it's like, well, I wish Steve the best. I wish Steve the fucking best. But yeah, this Biden and Vivek, how much do you want to pay in taxes? If the answer is above 0, neck yourself. Moncor002 says based. And then Drop Barracuda. I'm going to do this one out of order because it's really important. He says, heard word of a stand-up. If it's upcoming, hope you kill. If it's already happened, hope it went well. Or maybe I dreamed it on a tequila bench. No, there is a stand-up coming. Several people have asked me, I know that's a weird thing to say, but people have asked me, like, why don't you do stand-up? I'm like, because I'm not funny in that way at all. I tell stories. I talk about life experiences or whatever. And I'll suck my own dick a little bit. I'm an okay storyteller when I want to be. Like, I can tell a story and I can make it relatable to people who would have no way to relate to this story. That is a thing I've been decent at for a while. And I think it's probably why I do okay on YouTube and stuff like that. I'm an okay story. I'm not a joke writer at all. Most of the jokes I tell bomb. You actually don't know that most of the jokes I tell aren't funny because you're like, you don't think they're jokes because they're so fucking stupid. So I've never done stand-up. I highly respect, which is embarrassing to say, stand-up comedians for their mediocre talents. But it's not a craft that I understand or whatever. But Chrissy Mayer is coming to, I want to say the Twin Cities, but that's not true. She's coming to Sartell, Minnesota, which that's the funniest joke of the whole thing. Chrissy Mayer will be performing live in the city of that one that's kind of next to the almost city of St. Cloud. It's like kind of next to where Somalis stab people. She's going to come to the beautiful city of Sartell, which might have a Taco Bell. I don't even know because Sartell, whatever. She's going to go there. She's going to do stand-up. And she asked me if I would want to participate. And I said, can I be the unfunny guy that introduces the actual comic? Because that's a gig I can get behind. Right? Like I can get up there and tell jokes that are meant to fail. And if they fail, I won't care. So that is happening October 21st, Sartell, Minnesota. Chrissy Meyer is the comedian. And I think what's her face is going to be there too. Shit, I can't remember her name. The short one. She's funny. Chrissy will be there. I think the short one will be there. I'll be there introducing people and just fucking, I'll be struggling and sweating on stage. That's what's going to happen It's going to be a blast. Come hang out with us. October 21st. And I will probably also incorporate, if I can, that weekend to be a long-awaited Minnesota meetup in the St. Cloud area. So stay tuned for that on Locals. If I can, I've got to look at scheduling and stuff, and we've been swamped with the beginning of the school year, but that's a little bit into it. We will do like a meetup time either in the St. Cloud area or it'll be in the Twin Cities around that weekend. So stay tuned for that as well. But if you want to come see me bomb at jokes, it'd be way funnier if I had more people show up for me than Chrissy Meyer. So if you think that's funny, do that. Okay. Lila Hart. Thank you, absent-minded. Lila Hart. I don't think Keanu's coming. I think it was Lila, because I met Lila down in Houston. She's fantastic, super nice, very cool. She's short, but that you don't hold that against her. Like, how could you? It's hard to scoop up something that small. But she was down in Houston. She was great. And that's who I believe will be there with her. But you got to check out Chris. It's Chrissy's event. I'm just going to try and steal it from her with all of my prowess. That's the idea. Does Nick still do unbreaded? Stray, I have scaled back the unbreaded from being every show because it got trying and kind of boring. For me, not for everybody in the audience, but for me, because it was like every night. And sometimes you get these shitty pages and you're like searching for a good one. So I am actually reserving unbreaded for specific days. And I want to say this, unbreaded will make a little bit of an appearance on Wednesday's show this week. Wednesday show. It's been a while, but it'll be on Wednesday's show. Just a little fun thing. Okay, so that will be that's something to look forward to. All right, let's get to the guy. I've wasted so much time, but not. John says Nick scared he will be deplatformed. Fake unbreaded profit confirmed. No, I'm never scared of being deplatformed. What are you talking about? I would always do unbreaded on Rumble. It's like the safest thing in the world, except when he talks about Jews. But that's okay. We have a solution for them. Who's scared of Jews? Don't you own a shower? All right, here we go. Okay, here. So this is the judge topic. This is not a long topic, right? Like, this is an Asian level topic on judges. But this is important. It's a temporary solution. No, it's a final solution. So here we go. It's from Law and Crime, of course, because they talk about all the stories no one cares about. Judge called out for angrily invoking her office while dubbing double-parked public school teacher a stupid bitch. I mean, let's read it. Double-parked school teacher. Maybe she is a stupid bitch. Let's check it out. So this is Judge Jill Epstein. Hide you kids! Run! Don't go to the island! No! This is Judge Jill Epstein, from the Brooklyn Women's Bar Association and Bagel Baking Community /Facebook. So this is her web picture from there, I guess. And then Public School District 261 in Brooklyn, where the incident occurred. How far can we go in the Jew joke? How many do we have any Jews left in this audience? And if so, like, hey, what's up? You use a bank loan. A New York judge who fumed that she had a courthouse to run when calling a double-parked public school teacher a stupid bitch on April Fool's Day. Oh, it's just a joke. Why are they doing this? Has earned herself an admonishment. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Wait a minute. I didn't read this story. What the fuck? Are we like, so judge drives in and this dumb bitch is double parked. She's double fucking parked. A teacher is double fucking parked at the courthouse. You know what that means? Like, the judge can't park, right? or whatever, or someone can't park who's important. Like, you dumb bitch. Do you know who I am? I'm a fucking judge. I'm running this courthouse. I agree. I'm on the judge's side. Hold on. Let me see what this story is. I didn't read. Here I am. I'm going to talk about the judge as a human, like, well, they lost their temper or whatever, invoked their Jew card. No, I was going to do, no, the commission published the findings on August 28th and said that Kings County based New York City civil court judge Jill Epstein, an elected Democrat, admittedly engaged in misconduct. The recommendation of admonishment as the only sanction was due to Epstein's acceptance of responsibility. The commission said, okay, so if you don't know what happened here is there's an ethics violation reported. It's investigated. And then if they determine that the investigation needs to go farther, right? Like the ethics needs to be disciplined. They have a range of disciplines. You can sanction someone, right? Monetary sanctions. You can require them to do sensitivity trainings. You can require all sorts of stuff. Pro bono work, X amount of hours. Or you can admonish them, which is good. Bad judge. No. 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 That's what happened here. So they said, bad judge. She still gets to judge. She doesn't get like a suspension or dock and pay or whatever. She doesn't have to pay anybody for fucking up. She just, no. No. Okay, so a judge must uphold the integrity and dignity of judicial office at all times. There is no dignity of judicial office. Stop it. On or off the bench, and avoid asserting the judicial title in personal situations, such as when frustrated by a traffic jam. Commission Administrator Robert H. How the fuck do you, what is this name? Timbekian? Whatever ethnicity this guy is, I'm jihading them. So I can't say I want, like, I can't say this, right? Like, I cannot on YouTube or whatever. I can't say, you know, what we should do is kill all the Peruvians. Like, I can't do that. That would be violence against a group based in their national origin or whatever. Like, that'd be rude, right? Like, who wants to kill Peruvians? They're great. Peruvians are awesome. But can I say this? Whatever ethnicity, whatever national origin made that name, get in the fucking meat grinder. Get in the fucking meat grinder. What is Timbekian? Timbekian? Like, is the J silent? Is it an H? Is it a jalapeno? I don't even fucking know. Here, Judge Epstein forthrightly accepted responsibility and made amends, allowing for the mildest public discipline available. The official recounting the April Fool's Day incident said the jurist was on her way to work when she, quote, became stuck behind a double parked car outside of a school. Oh, yeah. Yes. No, this is right. Epstein entered the school, identified herself as a judge. Excuse me. I'm a fucking judge. I am a fucking judge. Okay? Do you see the robe? Do you see the fucking robe? I'm a judge. I've got a gavel. I'll ram it down your goddamn throat. I am a judge, you bitch. She identified herself as a judge to a school safety officer who's sitting there like, I get paid nothing. And all I want to do is take whatever implement that the children use to try and kill themselves that I saved them from and use it on me. That's okay. Anyway, she said she had to get to work at the courthouse and asked about the vehicle. According to the commissioner's telling of what took place, when the teacher whose car had been double parked came outside to move the car, Judge Epstein became angry, called her a stupid bitch, said she too had a parking placard but could not use it to double park, and added she had a courthouse to run. I'm not seeing the problem. Wait. I'm not seeing the problem. Wait, you guys, what's wrong with this? I'm not normally on the judge's side. I think judges are terrible people in general. Like, as a rule, I'm on the judge's side. Wait a minute. Why is this bad? Look, you stupid bitch, you can't double park. That's just true. That's just true. Here's the deal, guys. I gotta pee. I didn't pee between Camelot's and my show, and the fight milk just hit. I'll be right back. I'll play the whiskey lawyer song just for you. The peeing lawyer song. Don't leave. The stream is not over. I know you think it is, but it's not. I'll be right back.
He drank a fair bit and then realized that his bladder can't handle the liquor inside, leaving us with his chair while he runs up the stairs, hoping the stream doesn't suddenly die. While we are waiting, we'll be laughing at you. The drinking along is what most of us do. The chat is united, getting excited. What you have for us when your feeling is through. When you have a small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of the liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Now you're washing your hands and you realize that you've forgotten to scrub both the front and the back. Then you'll grab a quick bite, kiss your lady goodnight, and remember to thank her for all of the snacks. Whoa, water will cure your hangover. Oh, just drink some when the stream is over. When you have small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of the liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Soaking your drawers.
All right. Just a second. Let me get my. I don't need my headphones right now. I still had them in from Camelot stream. We'll do them in a minute. Okay. So anyway, I feel like fucking John Hammond from Jurassic Park, right? Where he's like, the only person on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer. I'm on the side of the fucking judge. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the commission noted, the commission noted that Epstein was cooperative and contrite throughout the process, that she regrets her misconduct and acknowledged her vulgarity and references to her judicial status undermined public confidence in the integrity of the judiciary and violated the rules. No. See, now she lost me. I was on the judge's side until now. Stick by your guns. Call her a dumb bitch. You're right. Do not apologize for vulgarity. And no, I'm a judge. I have to go. I have to go do important shit. You are an idiot who's double parked like a fucking moron. No. This is not a problem. But the judge has now capitulated and cucked. Epstein did send a written apology to the teacher. She called a stupid bitch. Panel found Epstein improperly asserted her judicial status. I don't think so. She didn't say you need to move because she didn't say, I'm a judge, I'll fuck you up or whatever. Just a judge. I hate this. I hate this shit. Let's see. When speaking with the school safety officer and created the appearance that she expected special treatment deference due to her judicial position. I don't know. Although Epstein was subject to administrative action by her supervisors, i.e. a demotion from a supervisory role, her term as a judge is set to expire at the end of 2028. The judge reportedly said in a statement that she has taken affirmative steps to better herself after inappropriately lashing out in a moment of human frailty while off the bench. All right, so I picked this story, and I now fucking hate it. I hate it. Because, yes, MLR's got it right. She's not sorry. She's just saying she's sorry to shut the damn crybabies up. But she is a crybaby. You know this. You know she's a crybaby, right? Like, she's a Democrat judge. She did go in and be like, I'm a judge, bitch. Like, she did that. So she is a little bit of a crybaby. The only thing here is she's right. This is an instance where she is right. That's what bothers me. But besides my agreement or disagreement with the judge, that's irrelevant. This is low level stuff. The important part of this story is the real aspect, though. I read the story not for the story. I read the story to talk about the fact that judges are people. And it's in a really, really critical context. All right. It's a really, really critical context. It has nothing to do with anything in the story at all. Or most things that you're probably thinking. Judges hear motion hearings. Judges hear pretrial arguments. And sometimes judges hear bench trials. All right? There are different rules for arguing before a judge on a motion hearing and arguing before a jury, right? Like, we know this. We have seen this. If you've followed me on live trials, we've talked about the issue of tainting. I don't mean like rubbing the space between their penis and their butthole. I mean corrupting a jury with some improper evidence or whatever. Judges have routinely held that they can review this evidence. They can take inadmissible, prejudicial, horrible evidence, even false, against a plaintiff or a defendant. They can weigh that evidence out, and they, because of their erudite, special, fucking snowflake judicial status, are somehow able to remain impartial. Well, it would influence a juror, but not me, a jurist. Jurors are average citizens. I'm a jurist. I was either elected to my position or I was even appointed by a governor because I'm really important and they knew who I was. And then I was confirmed. And then I was reelected because I'm really good at my job because I'm a jurist. Jurors are stupid. They're the average everyman. Their IQ is around 95, 83 if you're in Detroit. Their IQ is, do you even know what mine is? You probably don't. I bet you can't even count that high because you're an average juror. But I'm a jurist, which means I can look at this evidence. I can see 5,000 allegations of child rape and not be swayed by it. I can watch the defendant punch a woman in the mouth and say, well, that's inadmissible because it has nothing to do with this incident, and not be swayed by it. I can do that. Remember this woman from the feminist bar of New York, right? The feminist lawyer group of New York, the professional organization of feminists who have passed the bar exam and are licensed to practice law. She could look at your video where you're defending yourself, but cropped, unfortunately, to make it look like you decked a bitch in the mouth. And she would be unswayed by it. She would be above these petty constraints. She would be above narrative tricks and rhetorical tricks used to associate you with whatever. Judges are so fucking self-filleting and so fucking self-aggrandizing. And yet, over and over and over again, this is one of many, y'all. Most of these you'll never see. Most of these you'll never see, you'll never hear. This is a judge. Drove up to school. She's tired, whatever. She's running late. She's got to drop her fucking kid off. She's so pissed off. She gets up to school, and there's some dumb bitch double parked, blocking her ability to drive off. And she's like, I have arraignment hearings at 8:35 a.m. They have to start. I have to go. I have to tell the bailiff to get these goddamn prisoners on the fucking camera. I have to do 8 lines of cocaine, and I only have so much time to do it. They're just fucking people. They're just people. And it's insane. It's insane that we treat them otherwise. And if you want to know my opinion on this, should judges be replaced by an AI? Today, no. Today, no. 10 years from now, it'll probably be overdue. Now, this is a little different question. Because I see Missouri Battle Flag, who, by the way, what's up, homie? I think that's a lawyer. But listen. Should they? Probably. Do I want them to be, though? No. And neither do you. And neither does any lawyer on the planet. And the crazy reason that we don't want a judge replaced by an AI, and this is actually the grossest part of the system, that is the best thing. If you're a criminal defendant or a civil plaintiff or defendant, this is the reality. You probably know that an AI will do a better job adjudicating your trial than a judge will. For that reason alone, you definitely do not want it. You want the manipulable, you want the arrogant, you want the cocksure human on the fucking bench. 10 times out of 10. Because you believe that the guy that you hired, the girl that you hired, whoever you hired, the team, you want them not to enact the law, not the noble aspiration of I want to show that the law is on my side. No, you want to convince that thing to be on your side. You want the manipulation. You want that. And any lawyer who says otherwise is playing for their ethics, rules, or whatever. I will say the quiet part out loud. Every lawyer, all of them, uniformly and unanimously believe they are a better lawyer than every judge they step before. And I dare one of them to honestly try and say otherwise. You don't believe it. You know you don't believe it. You practice in that practice area. That judge doesn't practice in any practice area. And in fact, they got their fingers spread so goddamn thin, you'd think it was Eugenia Cooney. They don't know shit. And every lawyer out there knows it. And they all have to pretend that that naked idiot with a black robe on knows more than them about what they're talking about. And on behalf of all lawyers out there, you're fucking welcome. Because none of you can say it. Because all of you have to stand before that black robe tomorrow, the next day, whatever. And the worst part is, you're probably right. So should AI judges replace real judges? Yes. A resounding yes. An AI that puts out high school average answers would probably outperform the judiciary on balance. But do lawyers want an AI judge? Never in a million fucking years. Never. With that, I'm wrapping up this topic. The judge topic is done. Judge topic is annihilated, and you know, whatever, holocausted. Let's do the super chats on YouTube, and then we'll go to Rumble exclusively. Missouri Battle Flag, by the way, I did get your DM, and I will respond. I think we could have a good talk. Let's do it. All right, here we go. FFS says, who cares what lawyers wants? Works better for the honest people. Actually, no, that this is a misnomer. Or a misunderstanding. I don't know what it is. Look, there are obviously cases where people who know they're in the wrong. There are people who know they're in the wrong, right? And they will pursue a lawsuit and they'll do whatever. You apologize for being such a... Stop. No, never apologize. Being rude to me it doesn't matter, my man. There are certainly bad plaintiffs, there are bad defendants. That exists. The overwhelming majority of both sides of every issue believe genuinely in their correctness. There's a difference of opinion about the law, the interpretation, whatever, what it should be, what it says, what it is. Maybe they think it was wrongly decided, or it's not been decided and it's an open question, whatever it is. They genuinely think they're in the right. Most people. So it's not about the person who's got like integrity or thinks the truth is on their side. Like, you don't go into litigation if you think the truth isn't on your side. It's too expensive. There are better ways to deal with almost everything if you can. You don't go into this. You don't dump $200,000 to fighting for what might be right or what is probably not right, but you can swindle someone into. No, you're dumping that kind of money because you believe in the justice of your position. And you find an advocate who either does or will fight for it because they're like, you know what? I think you should be right or whatever. Like, that's the guy you want. You want the guy to pick up your flag and run with it. And if you can't find that guy, you got troubles. Most litigants, both sides of the aisle, in every single case, genuinely believe that they're in the right. They may be proven wrong, sure. And that belief might not be reasonable when you know the law or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like, reasonableness goes out the window when it's your life on the line, right? Like, think about this. Most, we'll use Minnesota as an example because this is a big red pill topic, all right? So hold on with me. Hold on to these balls and swing with me, all right? If you're a man in Minnesota who is in a custody dispute, an ex-wife, a baby mama, whatever it is, okay? And you earn more money than her. Hear me out, fellas. This is kind of like the trad setup, right? The guy is the higher income earner. Woman's like staying home with the kid, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you're in that sort of normative setup, you know, based on the law as it's written, that she's going to get the kids most of the time because you're working more, which doesn't make sense when she's not working at all, but it doesn't make sense. But, well, she's got time to be the caretaker. Like, that doesn't make sense because she's just a lazy dirtbag. I get it. All right. I get all the red pill points. Ignore those for a minute. You know that under the law, no, you're making more money. What it's going to end up is, no matter what, even if it's 50-50, you're going to be paying her. And if it gets way farther than 50-50, if it gets 70-30 or whatever, you're going to be paying her a lot. While you work, you don't see your kids as much. She doesn't. Now, let me turn this on its head real quick for the purposes of illustration. If you're a woman in Minnesota and you make $100,000 a year and your husband, ex-boyfriend, whatever, ex-husband, ex-boyfriend makes $30,000 a year, you're in the exact same fucking boat. If he works way less and he's not like a danger, he may get the kids. If you're working 70 hours a week, he probably will. He'll get the kids. And then you'll be paying him. Even if it's 50-50, you're going to be paying him. That's how it goes. Minnesota's pretty gender neutral on this stuff. This is important. This is important, all right? It doesn't matter which gender you are, but I picked the obvious one for the obvious reason. You know, because you've watched all the red pill shit, right? Plus you just read the law and said, look, the higher income earner in a split income situation will be paying the majority based on the parenting time and the percentage of income. It's a math formula in Minnesota. It's really straightforward. But you have all of these things where you say, this should be reduced, this should be reduced, I'm paying for this and this and this, this should come out of my income. And you genuinely believe it. You genuinely believe it. And so you will bring that before a judge because of course you will. It's the difference between paying $2,000 a month, paying $800 a month. Are you going to fight? Yeah, you're going to fight. $800 a month. The kid's 9. You get 11 years of that shit or 9 years of that shit. I can't do math. I'm not Asian. Yeah, you're going to fight it. You're going to say, hey, this shouldn't be so high. You can look at the law and you can say, what? I mean, the law says I should pay this, but justice says I should pay less because of these things. And if I can convince that person that I'm right and those things should be deducted, then I win. Not because I'm trying to save money or screw the mom over, but because I think this is correct. That's the reality of almost every litigant out there. And this is something that gets shit on in the legal system. People think everybody's a vexatious litigant. Everybody's suing for some fake purpose. No, most people, you don't do this. You don't go through a lawsuit for fake purpose unless you're insane. It costs too much. It's stressful. It hurts. It's a drain on you, your family, your resources. Most people are good faith litigants. And that's how the system works. That's how it's built. So I cannot give in to the people who are like, oh, the people who support the truth would support AI judges. No, it's not that simple. Even if you think that the law says one thing, but justice says something else, there's the hope that you can show the judge that justice demands that the law be read the way you read it. And that's not nefarious and that's not ill-intended. It's just how it goes. All right. There's my very ephemeral soapbox. Cheesy Train says, are there other manifestos that have your eye equal to unbreaded? And could you work in the rotation? He worked with greats like Killdozer and Sky King and others. Following Eustace Rittenhouse, great work. So the Killdozer manifesto, as far as I can tell, is not actually written down. I believe it was recorded. And I would love to read the manifestos of some of the recent mass shooters. I would love to. But they're hard to find, man. They lock those things down. It's like, I think these are critical. Like we should actually understand these people, mainly because you want to know if you hear someone else saying the same thing, you want to go, oh, what's up, buddy? Like you want to check on them. But yeah, I would love to, if you have manifestos. Oh boy. Hello, FBI and ATF. It's purely for entertainment purposes. If you have hilarious manifestos, if you know them, the only one I have is the unbreaded. I know there are others out there. If you have them, if you have the PDF of them or whatever, email them to me. I'm not scared to read manifestos online. I think they're interesting. I think they're wild. I think the scariest part of most manifestos is this. When you read a manifesto and you go, oh shit, I agree with that guy who did this. That's a good point. Now, of course, there's tons of stuff you'll disagree with. There's crazy insane, like Unbranded, right? It's full of stuff that's like, this is batshit insane. But every once in a while, he hits on a part and you're like, you know what, though? He's right there. He's right there. Pretty amazing. But yeah, send me your manifestos. Oh, excuse me. And welcome to watch list, dude. If I've been on a watch list forever, I'm sure. It's fine. I don't do anything that interesting. I'm just a free speech guy. I tell a lot of jokes, and it's so weird because for me, like I like everybody, just about. I mean, except for individuals, right? But as a default, I'm a narcissist, right? I like to walk up to anybody and be in a good spot and have a conversation. That's what I like. Extroverted narcissist. Perfect. So I like people as a rule. The exception of the rule are people I don't like. So it's to me like manifestos or whatever, reading them is funny, but at the same time, like you're not going to find me actually hating people or anything anywhere because like I'm just a guy who doesn't do that. Cheesy Train says, what would be better, replacing defense attorneys or prosecutors with AI? Prosecutors. All around prosecutors would be better. Mainly because I do think that an AI prosecutor could be swayed from the motivation to run a prosecution for political gain. That's the main reason. That's my personal opinion. Eric Linegar says, say my name, Nick. Say it, Eric Linegar. Linegar. Adam Wathan says, are you going to be live streaming your show in Nashville? I don't know that we'll be live streaming it. We will be recording it, hopefully with higher production value than Vegas. The recording in Vegas got like, they wouldn't let my guy plug into the soundboard. So you had to put a mic in front of a speaker. It got a little distorted because of that. But hopefully in Nashville, I'll be able to get my guy to be able to plug directly into their soundboard, have a direct feed from the microphones, and we'll have a little bit better sound. It will be recorded. It will be put up on locals, but I don't know if it will be live streamed. It's going to depend on what kind of like setup we have. So we'll check it out. I have a walkthrough, I think or we're shooting to have a walkthrough of the venue on Tuesday, and I'll have more information then. Uriah of the House Right. To quote the synthetic man, escapism in video, quote the synthetic man, escapism in video games is dead. It's kind of there. And by the way, Mermaid Messiah, I saw your question earlier about the felony. Email me, say I'm Mermaid in the subject line. I'm Mermaid Messiah. Here's my situation. It sounds a little complicated. Bob Charles says, issue with Starfield isn't pronouns. It's just a boring story. Even Arch Warhammer got bored after 2 live play videos and quit it. That I believe for sure. Bethesda games, to me, their storyline is not interesting at all. It's about what you make of your own story. To me, I don't think I've ever finished a Bethesda game. I did finish the main quest of Skyrim on stream for the first time, after 10 or 11 years or whatever. But then there were the expansions I hadn't finished. But I think that's the first Bethesda game I ever finished, quote unquote. To me, it's way more interesting to just play the game. Completely different. Thermacia says, Texas AG Ken Paxton impeachment trial starts tomorrow at about 9 a.m. Uncivil Law will be streaming it if anyone wants to watch. Oh, great. Nicholas Cruiser says, Morrowind or Oblivion, no story. No. You're missing it. I don't care what the story is. And I've never finished the main storyline. I just always go and do something stupid. The thing I like about a Bethesda game is that you don't have to do You don't have to do the game. You can play entirely differently. Okay, so yeah, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton impeachment trial is an interesting one. It's highly political. He also might be guilty. I don't know. So it's a tough question. So apparently Uncivil Law will be streaming it. I will not. I wish I had time. I'm only Thursday. I'm gone. Thursday I leave. Lady Rackets and I have the art event that we go to every year this coming weekend. And right after that, we're driving to Nashville. I will be streaming some from Nashville. I don't know what the schedule will be, but I will be streaming some. I don't think it'll be at the night time, but it depends on the day. I don't know. Tuesday, definitely no. Friday, definitely no. Of next week, because that I've got things both of those days. So Tuesday and Friday, definitely no from Nashville, but we're going to do hopefully some daytime streams. I should have plenty of downtime. It'll be just me and Lady Rackets in an Airbnb, and that should be okay for that. But yeah, I won't have time though to do the trial because I'm going to be helping out. We're going to be getting ready for this fucking trip all week. Tara Rayner says Dr. Jill has tested positive for the Rona. God help us all. Yes, prayers for Jill Biden. Hopefully she will recover swiftly from the Rona virus or whatever. PPY WTF, are you even doing SMH? Oh, this is a weirdo. Let's see. He's just spamming at Camelot? Oh, okay. That's all right. Weird. You don't have to spam. Like, you just say your thing once and it'd be fine. Don't spam, please. Nicholas Cruiser says the women were driving in regards to the judge. He also says, good stream, guys. Have a great night. I'm still here. Why you do this? Walter Deadman. It's Brooklyn. Everyone is double parked or saving their parking space to never move their car again because it's that great of a spot. It's been like this in the city since before time. Yeah, and I will reserve the right to call that stupid bitch a stupid bitch for putting her car where my car could be. And then Pippy Dippy, who's currently spamming. He sent several chats in a row. I haven't read them. Although it's going to be interesting. I'm going to read them all at once in a line here. So there's 5 chats. 5 chats. So here we go. He goes, how does it feel being an alcoholic ex-lawyer covering internet drama for fun? Okay, 2 things. I'm a current lawyer, still registered on October 1st. I'll renew my license and keep going. So I'm not an ex-lawyer. I'm a lawyer, but I don't want to practice law. That's a fucking nightmare. It's so much work. It feels great being an ex-lawyer covering internet drama for fun. Alcoholism or alcoholic or whatever, that's I'm not going to fight with you. There's no point in it. If you think I'm an alcoholic, cool. Great. I'll get help eventually, or I'll die and you'll be fine. I thought it was cool for a while. Then I realized you're an alcoholic. Okay. I mean, don't let me convince you otherwise. This is weird. My first show, my first video was me specifically drinking whiskey and reading legal documents. Specifically whiskey. And it's to me, it's all funny. Okay. To me, this is all very funny. Not okay. Not in the way you think. Self-deprecating funny. The only reason I drink whiskey, because in law school, I drank vodka cranberries. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like, people call me gay and I don't fight it because I drank vodka cranberries. That's the main thing. I've never had sex with a man, but I drank vodka cranberries, which is basically the same thing. But once I graduated from law school and passed the bar, I went, what? I think lawyers drink whiskey. Like, that's what I have to do. That's why I started drinking whiskey. There you go. There's a story, but it's always been a factor of the show. And I always thought it was funny, like that I drank whiskey because lawyers do, and then people are like, lawyers don't drink. Oh no, substance abuse rates amongst lawyers, it's the literal highest profession with all of it. So if I'm an alcoholic, cheers to you. You discovered something that no one is surprised by. Great. He says, look, alcoholism is fine. Nose being bloated is fine. My nose has always been this big. Everything is fine. You know how to defend criminals. That's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, cool. Thanks. Dude, it's fine to have red skin and bloated facial features. I'm almost always criticized for being too goddamn pale. And then I went down to the South and had to be outside and it got sunburned. But okay, sure. That indicate extreme alcoholism. You're still young. Everything is fine. Good. If it's fine, I'm glad. Please send more super chats telling me I'm okay. Please. Oh shit. Here we go. He says, dude, honestly, you're doing great. Your family totally respects your alcoholism. Do families respect alcoholism? Hold on. I don't know if that's true. Let me find out. Lick the bottle like it's a penis full of alcohol. There we go. Your family totally respects your alcoholism. Okay. Do you like drinking in front of your kids? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that, like, did your dad do it? I don't know. Did he like do it and beat you? What the hell? I drink on the show, buddy. Cheers. I don't know, man. Again, if you think I'm an alcoholic, I'm not gonna fight you or whatever. But do you drink in front of your kids? Do you have kids? I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't drink in front of my kids. That'd be kind of strange. But okay. You're doing, wait. You're totally fine. Your kids totally respect you. We're fine. Thank God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. I was really worried that my kids didn't respect me. Oh, God. Whew. Thank you for telling me that we're okay. Oh, geez. Because, see, you have to understand that I was at a family Bible camp with them the last 3 days, and all they did all day, they're like, Dad, it's church camp. Will you just stop drinking entire bottles of Jack Daniels between sermons? Like, can you just do that, Dad? When we go to our family Bible camp, can you manage to not drink an entire bottle of Jack Daniels for the day? Like, can you just do that, Dad? Can you just like, can you get out of the bed at the family Bible camp where you're with your whole like family, your extended family, all these people around, like who know you're there, but they never see you because you're just constantly chugging from the barrel of whiskey that you brought. Like, oh my God, stop drinking. And I said, of course, like in full lucid sobriety, I said, no, you little bastards, go away, or I'm gonna beat your mom. Totally fine. So he says, honestly, just use color balance on your camera. Nobody will notice your skin is taking a huge hit from your rampant alcoholism. You're totally fine. Okay. If you think I can figure out how to do color correction on my camera, you've been watching the show. Which is fine. Look, I know someone talked about me and they said things and like you have to believe what they say or whatever. Like I got it, but cheers, buddy. Let me propose a toast. May all may all alcoholics have a problem lower than mine. And I think we might just begin to correct the fucking country. Cheers to all the alcoholics and all the liquor consumers out there. Reeves Gaming says, update, friend who took me in, being evicted for late rent because auto withdraws on 5th and not on the 1st. Oh, fuck, I hate that. They want to raise rent and evicting him to do it. So might be back on the street, but with a cuddle buddy at least. It says Trump news in the vidnik. Can I get a poem read? Maybe. I'll grab the poems up here. Guys, here we go. Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? I love you guys, and I am so fucking sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize for this. People have talking about, oh, your camera colors are weird or whatever. This wall is not white. The wall is cream. And I'm going to demonstrate something. And look, chat, I love you. And if you're mad about this, you got to talk to Pippy Dippy or whatever. Okay. I'm going to dispel this color correcting camera thing right now in the worst fucking way possible. Here we go. Do you see this? Do you see the white? Do you see the whiteness? I'm a pale motherfucker. There's no color correction, my man. I've just got a Minnesota farmer's tan. That's it, homie. But thank you so much for the super chats. And while you're at it, my friend, go fuck yourself raw with a heated up fire poker, because you're a goddamn boring pile of shit. And whatever you think, whatever fantasy you jerk off to about my life, I guarantee it's way more boring and way more focused on how the fuck we are going to get these kids to every activity we sign them up for, because all we have wanted our entire lives is to raise children who are free to pursue their endeavors to the absolute maximum. I pray to fucking Christ that if some woman is ever dumb enough to accept your seed into her, that you share a modicum of success that will allow you to do the same. Because at the end of the day, people can talk about whatever they want about me. I don't fucking care that much. Like, I'll make fun of you, but it won't bother me and it won't affect me past the stream. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I buy for me, what I buy for anybody else, what I spend my money on, because the first payments, the first things that come out of every single check I get go to shelter, they go to education, they go to enrichment, and they go to the life, feeding, comfort, and the benefit of my children, to my own detriment, for the past 15 fucking years. My children have always come before me. And if you're mad that at some point in my life, I was able to get enough success to buy something for me from time to time, enjoy it, well, then my God, I hope somebody gets mad at you for the same thing, because, man, that is the number one priority of every good dad and every good mom I've ever met. They may provide for their children in abundance and eventually grab something for themselves. Cheers to you. I wish you all the success in the world. All right, here we go. Nicholas Cruiser says, I like people as a rule. As an exception, I don't like people. The wisdom of Ricada. No, Nicholas Cruiser. I like people as a rule. As an exception, I don't like persons. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, that's the alcoholic in me. Cheesy Train says, my name is a variation of Cheesy-tarian. I just read it as train because I'm autistic. Cheesy-tarian says, my name is a variation of vegetarian law. Lex Cedar says, posed nude today. Pottery instructor was confused. Fucking nailed it. That's living life to the goddamn fullest. Wait, we got a couple 20s here. Orphan TW1N says, orphan twin. Oh, orphan twin. Can I get a toast to my dad? He passed this morning. I will never, ever understand. I will never, ever understand how you guys do this. Look, I appreciate it. Believe me, don't get me wrong. This is not a criticism. This is not a criticism. If my dad died this morning, I could not be watching a live stream. I would, my dad's death is one of the few things in my life that I am terrified of. My dad has instilled in me more wisdom than he will ever know. Like, because you can't tell him, right? Like, you can't tell your dad they did a good job. Like, God has to tell him that. Because if you do, it's like, what are you going to do? Edify your dad? No. That guy grounded you, like, took away your stuff. He didn't buy you stuff. Like, no, screw him. He doesn't get that. God has to do that. God has to be like, no, it's okay. Bob, my dad's name is Bob. Bob, you did a good job. Like, you did okay. Look, he's an alcoholic ex-lawyer on YouTube, just probably dying. Like, actually, if you really think about it, like, yeah, his kids will probably murder him. But you did an okay job. He fucked it up. You did fine. That's God's job, not yours, right? So I don't understand how you guys do it. I would be devastated. I took writers workshops in undergrad because I was a writing major in undergrad, and please don't overinflate that. Writing majors are the dregs of society. They're the worst people. They're worse than lesbian basket weaving or whatever. Because at least in lesbian basket weaving, like, they're weaving baskets, but their roast beef flaps are touching and flapping against each other, and it's like, well, okay. No, writing degrees are garbage. But you take these writing classes because they're easy. They're easy, and you phone it in all day. Story of my life. Phone in the fucking education. Why on earth? If you're trying in undergrad, I don't know what your life is. I strongly encourage you to not, unless you're an engineer, right? If you're like an autist who's in post-secondary, like, please, like, do well. But if you're everybody else, if you're in a liberal arts degree, like, your degree is meaningless. Why are you trying? Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not, like, your grade isn't the thing that matters. What matters is how you interact with people. So only for liberal arts majors. Everybody else who's got a serious thing, go do your thing. Get your 4.0, boo. It's all cool. If you're a writing major or like a literature major, if you're a literature major, read a book on how to jump off a bridge. If you're a writing major, just stab the pencil in your eye. It's fine. So I didn't try. 99% of undergrad was literally, how do I do the least amount of work to get through this? Because I wasn't cool. I'm going to play EverQuest was where I started college, right? Like, I'm going to play EverQuest all day. I don't want to fucking go to class. So I managed that until I had to quit EverQuest because, well, turns out you can fail if you play too much. So I had to quit EverQuest and then, like, try a little bit harder, but not much. And then I was a cheerleader, and that was great. If you're trying harder than like a B average, then you need to have your head examined. That being said, almost everything I wrote in Writer's Workshop was garbage. Because of course it was. You have one class a week. You forget it exists. It's run by the fattest, laziest Native American. And yes, fattest, laziest Native American on the planet. If you don't realize how fat and lazy that is, I got news for you. Guy's great. Beautiful poet. fantastic professor because he just didn't give a shit. He was awesome. I loved him. His name was Adrian Lewis, and may the Thunderbird or whatever have mercy on his red soul. Guy was amazing. But he's like a shitty professor in the end. Great professor to have, shitty professor to teach. But he's just a good poet. That's it. So you do these poems because you're like, oh shit, I got a writer's workshop in an hour. I better write a poem about ramen or whatever. And you come up with something. And then the best part is when you take like you take the same writer's workshop again with a different professor and you don't write anything. So you just recycle last year's poem that you wrote in 4 minutes. Perfect. But there was one I wrote, one poem that mattered to me. It mattered to me. And I decided one day, because I actually did my assignment, and I wrote my biggest fear. And it was I don't know where it is. I'll find it someday and read it. And maybe I'll read it to my dad. It was a poem about my dad's funeral. And it was before I was married, before I had kids. It was before I met Lady Rackets, even. It was a poem about my dad's funeral. And I wrote it. And I almost Jordan Petersoned, but I'm not gay, so I didn't actually cry. But Jesus Christ, if you have a good dad, and a good dad is not as complex as people make it out to be. A good dad is there. A good dad doesn't hit you or touch you inappropriately. He helps you when he can. He makes sure you have a roof and food, and he doesn't harm your mom. That's a good dad. I have a great dad. But when you have a good dad, their passing should wreck you. It should instill fear in you. Because despite all the wisdom that they've given you, all of the lessons, all of the everything they have brought you to where you are, the moment they pass, you will never again be able to call, text, message, whatever, and say, Dad, I got a problem. I don't know about you guys. I'm 41. I don't message him that often, but when I do, I always know that he will respond without judgment, without cynicism, and with all of the understanding in the world of something that he can never understand because he was 41 a long time ago on a completely different planet. Just go, yeah, I don't know how to deal with that. Here's what I would do. Maybe you could try this. Have you thought about this? That's it. You'll never get that again. And so to everybody who has a good dad or a great dad or whatever, I'll encourage you this. Ask those questions. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Because once they're gone, they're gone. And now I'll transition like a gay man into the toast to orphan twin. And I'm sorry to tangent and rant, ramble during your toast. I really am. But dads are put down so fucking much in society. And I don't care for me. Peter Griffin's a piece of shit. Like, I'm not Peter Griffin. I don't care for me. And every dad already thinks, like every good dad already thinks you're a failure. Like you think you're a failure because every time you fuck up, you're like, so we already know, but we never want our dads disparaged. You guys know this. I don't have to tell you this. So I'm sorry, orphan twin, for ranting. I just think it's really important and dads don't get enough credit. So here we go. Can I get a toast to my dad? He passed this morning. How are you on a live stream? His name was Joe. He was a high school algebra teacher. Good man that raised 4 boys. Thanks, Nick. To Joe. Joe, a high school algebra teacher. My man, he didn't raise 4 boys. He didn't raise 4 boys. He raised 4 boys of his own, and he raised an uncountable number of boys and girls who would never know or appreciate the full influence of what he did. But from your description of Joe, not knowing him, but understanding what men who deserve tribute bring. We understand that he brought that calm, silent strength, not only to you, but to everyone he influenced, everyone he met, and most importantly, to every child who gave him the permission to speak into their lives. Cheers to Joe and the countless children that he made a little bit better by his influence. Nicholas Cruiser says, "Dear, we just wanted to come in and tell you we're proud of how you pissed on the couch last night. Your girls were bragging at school and your boys started drinking. Alcoholic, respecting mother." God, so fucking good. Lee Bob says, "Show me dim tatas." Nah. If you want to see my naked body, you'll probably see it in Nashville. Mainly because in Vegas, like someone challenged me. I pulled my shirt off. I'll probably do it again. Who knows? Here we go. Nope. Hell nope. Says, "Unless you're a DA, in which case it ain't your money and every conviction is another notch in your belt." You guys know, I don't like district attorneys as a rule. I've worked with some that are decent, and my experience is limited. I'm not, I never oversell what I've done. I've worked with some who are decent, and most of them are horrible, but it's not them. It's the system. It's the system that makes them that way. It's not their fault. Cheesy Tarian says, "Nick, drink more clear alcohol. It has fewer calories, you fatty." Dude, I'm not in trouble on calories. I'm doing just great. Snorum 11 Aru says, "It's amazing how people look at experienced, highly intelligent professionals and think they can tell you something you don't already know about yourself." Yeah, actually. The Glarer says, "It's not much, but if it contributes to you drinking instead of not practicing law, it's well spent, homie." The Glarer, dude, we got to talk at some point. I know you and I were, we had this like flyby, like Maverick and Cougar, right? In the Michael Long stuff. I hope you're doing really well. It's been a really long time since we interacted. Can you reach out to me like on Twitter or something so I can follow you, or wherever you are, and we can chat? Because I want to catch up. Don't get me wrong. I remember you, and I think we could have a good discussion sometime. All right, here we go. Basara 549, "Drinking lawyers. Look at Lito's video on the attorney that was arrested, DUI, 9 a.m. going to court in Kentucky. Friend of mine was on the jury waiting for him." Cheesy Tarian says, "As a ginger with no soul, I'm darker than you." Yeah, no, I'm very, very pale. Pappy Dappy or Peepy Dippy says, "I'm not mad at all. I just have 5 kids and I was a lawyer like 5 years ago. I'm not mad. My kids respect me. We're all fine. Everyone fine." Again, paint your narrative, my man. Like I don't know what to tell you. I choose me over the other, like the practicing attorney me 10 times out of 10. He says, "My face is not bloated at all. My wife loves me. She respects my internet career. Everyone in my family respects my career. I'm the alpha." Well, I don't know if I'm the alpha. I'm the sigma or whatever. Okay. He says, Pippy Dippy says, "I'm Camelot. I'm a man. I lived an obese life, but now I'm like an internet influencer. I don't have any skills, but like I'm Camelot. Everything is fine." Camelot, wait, is that you? Oh, shit. I think Pippy Dippy was just Camelot the whole time because he nailed it. Okay. Whatever. Nope. Hell nope says, "I won't ask for a toast, but I will pray for all those suffering under the long arm of the conviction system, myself included." Nope. Hell nope. Yes. And as a defense attorney who presumes even the guilty are innocent, until I'm shown otherwise, I will. Cheesy Tarian says, "Public announcement. There are no lesbians under 220 pounds. Wait, Showtime lied to me this whole time. Fuck you. Jegs Dino God says, "Elon Musk is suing the ADL for defamation." On a unrelated note, the Dems are now recognizing African Americans on Jewish violence. Use that in Nashville. Ooh. The ADL, by the way, did you guys see the ADL? Like the guy, I don't know who he even is. Someone tweeted a picture. He looks like a fucking candy corn. His head emerges and peaks straight out of his shoulders. It is the fattest, weirdest dude I've ever seen. Holy shit. God damn. Burner Count 3 says, "Hi, Nick. Can you shame me for my hairy bush And prehensile nibbles, please. Yes. First of all, dude, it's 2023. Get rid of all body hair. I would get rid of leg hair, except I know the truth. If you, as a man, take off your leg hair, it will itch, it will suck. You'll be so fucking angry at everything. And you have to do that over, like you have to endure that pain over and over to keep like those, like cyclists or whatever are gay. And so they do it, but every man's like, no, I actually like, I don't want to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your beautiful hairy legs, guys. Women just have to deal with it. Everything else though, like someone said, trim your pit hair. Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm gonna trim mine down. I would laser it off if I had the chance. I would laser off everything except my legs. I'd probably laser my legs too, but that sounds expensive. No, body hair is so 2018, and I don't want any of it. Fuck body hair forever. It's gay. All right, here we go. That's it. That's the whole show. No, not the whole show. That's the YouTube show. Holy shit, we've got so much more on Rumble. Come check us out. The Rumble link is in the description on YouTube. It's also in the pin chat. Come hang out with us on Rumble. We've got 2 more topics to go. I don't know how to do this. We'll figure it out. I rambled for 2 fucking hours. This was supposed to be, we were supposed to move to Rumble a long fucking time ago. We'll see you guys there. We got a little 25-second now thing because Ryan, the editor, changes things up on me. I don't know, whatever. Catch you guys on Rumble. Peace. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,